Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Let me just dust off a desk here, turn on the lights and realize how dusty it was. Anyway, today I'm super excited because we are unboxing kind of a second round unboxing per se. This is a new gimbal that I just got. I guess there's not much mystery to it since you probably saw the title. Yes, this is the Tilta G2X with the wireless Nano Nucleus N follow focus system. This was their Black Friday deal. If you got this deal or you didn't see it, man, this thing was amazing. Basically, you got the G2X, which the X allows for much heavier camera systems, so this thing can fit C200s, even like Red Ravens, probably Red Epic W, and smaller, lighter kits there, and of course DSLRs and everything, and a wireless follow focus, the new Nucleus N, for $599. Fantastic deal, still a good deal at its full price. So the reason I said second round unboxing is the fact that I've already had this for about a week or two. Couldn't wait to unbox it on camera. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of unboxing and kind of showing off this gimbal. I know this gimbal is new, but really right now the market is dominated by the Ronin S and the Zhiyun cranes, and I really think after using both of those gimbals and Ronins in the past and even had my hands on a Movi, I really think this is a strong contender for the one-handed 3-axis gimbal in the market. Now what's nice is this is a I don't really know what you call these. It's not a soft shell case, but it's not a hard shell. It is harder, so I definitely feel comfortable with this just sitting in a car or anything like that, but it's not like a Pelican case. If I push down on the top, it will recess, and if you put enough weight on the top middle here, you probably can damage some of the internal products. So keep that in mind. It is a very nice case that it comes with. I believe if you order full price, they have the option to get a hard shell case for the G2X, but I think for the Black Friday bundle, they made this special edition case. So cracking it open here, we got a couple different things, and I know my framing is weird up there, so I'm gonna get out of this top part here. I do wish this was a zipper, only because when you do open this all up, as you can see, this all slides down, so I do wish that was a zipper portion, but besides the point. In here, it comes with a couple lens ring adapters, so if you're not like me and have the Rokinon Cine style lenses or any Cine style lens, you can use this little ring to convert any lens so that the follow focus can work. And it does come with two of these. I currently have it on the 18-135 right now. Next up, you have the power cable. This is for the charger for the batteries. I'll get to this in just a minute, but this is just the power cable for that. You have your typical paperwork and getting started instructions, as per pretty much every tech product nowadays, in a nice fancy little sleeve. Got some extra screws and Allen keys pretty much to take apart and use the entire product, so it's nice that it always comes with the tools. And the last little pouch thing here, these are all the power adapters in various right angles and options to connect the Nucleus N to the actual gimbal, so that way the follow focus does have a battery in it. Excuse me, the wireless handheld receiver has a battery in it, but this runs off of power from the micro USB cable into the gimbal. And then this part did come in the main part, but you have to use the Allen key to take this off, and that's annoying, so I just keep it in here. But this is a little base plate, so you can put your camera right onto here, and then it has a short little 15mm rod so that you can mount this onto there. Of course, your lens is around here, and boom, you got a wireless follow focus. But of course, you can use any standard 15mm rail with that. So now let's jump into the main portion of the case. Now there's one thing I want to point out in the beginning is batteries. So I was very confused when I ordered this thing because Tilta has on their website that they do not ship with batteries due to battery import laws or something like that. So I was fully expecting it to not come with batteries, so I actually bought these on Amazon. I'll leave them in the link in the description below, because it was actually kind of hard to find the recommended ones, because the recommended ones on Tilta's website are no longer sold, I guess. But these ones have been working out pretty well, so I'll leave them down in the description. They were super cheap, like 15 bucks. So what's nice is they have the battery slots in here, and then these are the batteries that came with it. They are unbranded, so you won't really be able to find these on a third-party website like Amazon. And I don't know if you can buy these as a standalone product. I didn't see them anywhere on Tilta's website, but maybe I didn't look hard enough. So it takes 4 of them. So what I do is keep 4 of them in here, and then I have 4 extras right here. While we're holding it, this is the handle to the gimbal. I'll assemble it in a second, but I really like the kind of designs on the wood itself. Gives a very cool aesthetic to it. Everything here is pretty much solid metal. I don't know if that is real wood. I'm guessing that's just plastic, but it feels very sturdy even without the actual gimbal part and just the handle. So great job, Tilta, on the build quality. This little guy right here is pretty nifty. If you have a traditional DSLR that's super lightweight, or even something like a Canon C100 or C200 that has a hot shoe mount, this actually goes on top of the camera, because if you've ever used gimbals, you may know that the camera starts to slide on the plate a little bit, just because the screw on the bottom starts to loosen. So what this allows you to do is you have the plate on the bottom, you have the camera, and then you put this on the hot shoe, and it keeps the camera straight and secured. And yeah, unfortunately I don't have it on my camera because I don't have a hot shoe or hot shoe adapter on the Pocket 4K, so I don't use this, but great little accessory to have included. In the same little section here, this is specifically for the Zhiyun crane. So talk about cross promotion and how much they want to take care of you. Again, since this is the Nano bundle, this normally comes with the Nano. This is for the Zhiyun crane gimbal. What I'll show you here is the wireless focus wheel here does come with this little plate that of course I've mounted on this gimbal, but this little plate can mount to here, and then you mount this to the handles of a Zhiyun crane. My guess is this will also fit something like a Ronin. Of course, you can put little spacers or anything like that, probably get it fit other handles, and you can probably rig this to almost just about any sort of handle, so you can get creative with this piece of kit. But it is nice that they call out the Zhiyun crane directly on the product. Going right down the line here, this is the charger. As I mentioned before, you have a power cable that comes out of here. Pretty standard stuff. If it's red, it's charging, blue, it's full. But what I do like is it takes both kind of batteries. Of course, like I mentioned, you have the big batteries that would go here, but then you have these 2 little batteries which then go to the follow focus handle. This takes just 1 battery, so it comes with an extra one, which is really nice. And since this charger has adjustable spring for the negative side, you can also, with the same thing, charge this in any of the ports. So it's really nice that you can do either all 4 of these batteries or a mix between the big and small batteries. I also like that in the foam cutout case here, they do have a spot for the charger. For some reason, a lot of times I see cases that don't have a space for the charger and they just expect you to leave it home, but I do appreciate that little addition. Now right here, this is really cool. This is both the base plate. So for example, if you have the gimbal fully built out, right here, obviously it's going to fall over, but here you can see that all sides are covered, front and back and side to side. And this is just a simple screw that you go all the way out. That sits right in there. Tie it down. And that is not going anywhere, forward, back, side to side. So now when you set it down and you're building up the gimbal, you don't have to worry about falling over. The other nice thing is it does have 3 standard tripod 1/4 inch holes on the bottom, so you can mount this to a base plate and then to a tripod or C-stand or whatever you wanted. One thing when putting this product back though is make sure the thumb screw is put all the way down or else it sticks up, you may have a hard time closing it. So just make sure that it is closed all the way. This came on the base plate. I am using the base plate on the camera right now on the Manfrotto 502 head. I really like that it's a standard Manfrotto head, because now I can rig it up for the gimbal, quickly take the camera off and put it on my 502 HD heads, and it totally works. This is if a camerizer, if you are using a DSLR and then a giant cine lens. This way the lens and the camera can be on the same kind of level plane. So again, they really thought of all these little accessories. This with some of the other gimbals I've seen would be, you know, $40 extra just for this little plate. And here they go including it. Now talk about included things that don't really matter. They come with this flathead screwdriver. And to be 100% honest with you, I don't know what it's used for. Almost everything on this gimbal uses one of the Allen keys that is stored at the top, so it does come with it, but I have yet to find anything that I mean, everything is nice thumb screws that you interact with the gimbal itself, so maybe there's something in here if you ever have to work on it. I mean, one thing I just realized is it is good for the bait when you're screwing on the base plate to a camera. You know how you always use like a quarter in your pocket, at least I do. Well, at least you have this. Maybe that's all it's intended for. And here is where this little piece goes that I showed you earlier. Again, you'd have to kind of break it down in order to get to fit back in there. Just lay it across the top like that. But yeah, you get the point. Going to the right corner, it does come with a lens support system. Again, very nice. So this you would put on the end of the base plate if you have a heavy telephoto lens or just maybe a cine lens. This will take some of the strain off of the lens mount. And then in the top right hand corner, you have the actual Nucleus N. So this, as I held up before, is the actual motor function that would go on a 15mm rod and connect to the lens. And you have a small screen with a couple of buttons interface, but it is pretty much pre-set up. It's meant to be a turn on, make sure it's on the right channel, and you're pretty much good to go. This is the actual Nucleus and handheld dial, blanking on what the name is. So this is where you set up most of the time. Now with some of the gimbals, you can actually have record, start, stop functionality depending on what type of camera you have. But this is also like the power button, how you turn it on. You change the channels and settings. And again, I'll show you in a minute, but you do connect this directly to here, or you can have someone else, let's say you have a wireless monitor, they can totally just hold it like this and do their thing and get some wireless follow focus. So I love the fact that, you know, the Ronin S and the Zhiyun Crane both have a focus wheel on the gimbal, but this allows you to take this off and use this focus system totally not using the gimbal if you didn't want to, or just have someone nearby while you're running around with a gimbal. Someone else can be on a wireless monitor and grabbing focus. So that's why I really went for this bundle. And then of course you have the actual gimbal itself. Now, if you've ever seen a 3-axis gimbal, there's not too much different about this. There is no screen on this gimbal, which is a little different than some of the others I know. So you do have to memorize, for example, the different modes. It does have a light indicator, so you basically have to memorize, okay, green is mode 1, red is mode 2, blue is mode 3, and so on. But you do have a joystick for manual control. I really like that you have on both sides RE rosettes, so you can actually get optional handles to attach this to whatever you wanted, to give you basically a two-handed operated gimbal instead of the one for heavier loads. The biggest thing with this that you may not be able to see now is if you had a camera mounted, I'll show you since you're on the top view, you would be able to see your screen. So since my Pocket 4K doesn't have a tilt screen or anything, this motor is not obstructing the view of the screen. So I know pretty much all gimbals nowadays are starting to do that, and this one follows that trend and makes me very happy. Besides that though, everything is thumb screws, so it's very easy to adjust. The minor adjustments are very smooth, and everything is obviously numbered. So yeah, it's very easy to get set up. Speaking of which, let's do that right now. All right, so now we're going to actually assemble the gimbal. It's very easy. We're going to start with the base plate. Make sure it's twisted all the way out. And again, you can do this on top of a tripod or a C-stand if you wanted, using the available screws on the bottom. The nice thing is this also does have rubber feet, so once you put it on a table or something, it does stick nice. Now with the handle, this is where the batteries are stored, in a compartment underneath. There's a little open tab. It's a very nice, confident button push, and then it flies open like crazy. These are where the batteries are stored. And then to close, I thought I had a faulty door because it wasn't shutting, but you really got to put some pressure and you'll hear it click, and it's good. So everything is nice and secure. There are also other traditional 3/4 tripod mounts on the bottom, and so really you can mount other things. Maybe you have a battery down there or whatever it may be. Some good options, but for now we're going to put it inside this. Now this is the way that the grip should go. You should have the G2 logo on the left hand side, and that is facing forward. Now before we slide the top part of the gimbal on, this lock is probably going to be locked already for the sake of storing it in there, so we'll want to make sure we loosen that by pushing it forward. And then you're going to grab the big part of the handle here, and the part that has the little joystick thing, that is going to be facing you. So that's the rear side, and the USB and the mode switcher, that is all going to be front facing. Now with this unlocked here, we're simply going to align the grooves. It's going to slide in. It does not click or anything, but you will feel the end of the track. And then do not forget to re-close this lock. Should have some nice pressure to it now. And now the top is locked in. Now if you have the Nucleus and Nano bundle and you've attached the adapter to the left RE rosette, you can go in and attach this. Kind of same ordeal. You want to make sure this red lever is put up. That is in unlocked position. So we're simply going to slide this down. So obviously the record button is facing up. Then we're going to take this red lever again, push it down. So now that is locked in. So this is the main component. Obviously you would then take your camera plate and you'll proceed to slide these around to balance your camera. Obviously I'm shooting on my Pocket 4K, so I can't show you guys that, but if you want to see a actual setup balancing video, then I'll shoot it on my iPhone or get another camera to use. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you want to see how to set it up. This was just a quick little look at unboxing and the general setup of the main part, how it looked, how it feels. It's very sturdy in the hands. I feel very confident in its qualities. And like I said, after using the Ronins and the Zhiyun Crane 2 and a handful of other 3-axis gimbals, this by far is my favorite one-handed operation, purely from the sake of it doesn't get in my way in terms of the motors being in front of the screen. And I just love the Nucleus Nano bundle. So you can buy this by itself for like $229 or $299, which is a great deal, or you can take a look at pricing for both of these things together. This thing definitely can carry a load that's bigger than, I believe, both the Ronin and the Zhiyun. I'll double check that and put it in the description if I'm wrong. But yeah, like I said, this thing can go from basic DSLRs all the way up to like full C200 and some lightweight red camera rigs. So yeah, if you guys have any questions on this gimbal, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and I'm sure you will be seeing a lot more of this. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.